And by faith Abraham, even though he was past age, and Sarah herself was barren, was enabled to become a father, because he considered him faithful who had made the promise. And so from this one man, and he as good as dead, came descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and as countless as the sand on the seashore.
An open or galactic star cluster is a group of up to a few thousand stars formed together from a giant nebula. The stars in an open star cluster are bound together loosely by the force of gravity. The most prominent open clusters, such as the Pleiades, have been known and recognized as groups of stars from biblical times.
Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades? Can you loose Orion's belt? He alone stretches out the heavens and treads on the waves of the sea. He is the maker of the Bear and Orion, the Pleiades, and the constellations of the south. He performs wonders that cannot be fathomed, miracles that cannot be counted.
The Pleiades star cluster contains over 1,000 stars loosely bound together by gravity, and historically has been referred to as the Seven Sisters. Since this star cluster is easily seen with the unaided eye, the Pleiades star cluster was used in ancient times as a method for testing eyesight. A soldier who could see at least 7 stars was given the job of scout or archer. The Pleiades star cluster lies at a distance of 440 light-years from us, and its brightest stars are surrounded by a blue reflection nebula. The star cluster designated M7 is a brilliant cluster of about 100 stars located some 800 light-years from Earth. It stands out against a very rich background of hundreds of thousands of fainter stars in the direction of the center of the Milky Way. Considered to be a deep sky jewel, the double cluster located in the constellation of Perseus is visible to the unaided eye in a dark country sky. If you zoom in on them with binoculars or a wide-viewed telescope, you'll see them as 2 wonderful star clusters. More than 1,100 open star clusters have been discovered within our own Milky Way galaxy, and more are thought to exist. Globular star clusters are spherical groups of stars bound together tightly by gravity. These star clusters can contain 100,000 to 1,000,000 stars. Globular clusters are found orbiting the halos of all large galaxies and contain very old stars. There are about 157 known globular clusters in the Milky Way galaxy. Globular clusters can be very large, reaching up to 300 light-years in diameter. If you were standing on a planet orbiting a star inside a globular cluster, your night sky would be extremely crowded with bright nearby stars. The most famous globular cluster in the northern hemisphere is designated M13, the great globular cluster in the Hercules constellation. The largest globular cluster in our Milky Way galaxy is Omega Centauri, found in the constellation of Centaurus. It is estimated to have at least 10 million stars of different colors and sizes. The average distance between stars in a globular cluster is about 1 light-year. Stars in the centers of globular clusters may be 1/3 to 1/2 light-years apart. Imagine yourself on a world where the sky is always ablaze with the sight of 1,000 stars as bright as the full moon. Such would be the view in the crowded confines at the heart of a globular star cluster. If our sun were a member of a globular cluster, everything on Earth would cast dozens of shadows, and there wouldn't be any real night because the stars near the core of a cluster are so tightly packed. More than 130,000 stars would shine brighter than 6th magnitude, which is the naked eye limit that we see from the Earth. The darkest night our viewers would ever see would be a strange kind of twilight. The typical distance from our hypothetical planet to the very closest star, however, would still be substantial, probably close to about 0.3 light years. Inhabitants of such a world would see 10,000 stars brighter than 1st magnitude compared with just 29 in the Earth's sky, and more than 1,000 brighter than Earth's most brilliant nighttime star, Sirius.